All right, so today let's do a deep dive into something I've been thinking about a lot lately,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
really the future of fintech,
Mhm.
but not just like, like flashy new features,
Right.
but more like fundamentally, how can financial products and services provide more
Yeah.
deeper value?
Deeper value.
You know what I mean?
It's like the difference between just having a car that gets you from A to B and having one that
Totally.
makes you feel something.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
to help us unpack this whole thing,
Okay.
we're turning to our friends at UXDA.
Mm-hmm.
They're a financial UX design agency.
Cool.
And they put out this really cool article
Okay.
with this model that really resonated with me
Mm-hmm.
called the value pyramid.
Oh, interesting.
And get this, it's actually inspired by Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh, absolute.
You remember that from
Yeah.
Psych 101?
It's all about
Right.
how we strive for higher level needs
Mhm.
once we've kind of got the basics down.
It's so much. Like, you're not going to worry about finding your dream job if you're struggling to, pay rent and buy groceries.
Right.
So
you got to have that foundation.
yeah, you got to have your basic needs met
Exactly.
before you start reaching for those higher levels.
And companies are kind of in the same boat, right?
Absolutely.
They're constantly climbing this value pyramid
Mm-hmm.
driven by that
Yeah,
good old-fashioned competition
makes sense.
to offer more than their rivals.
So at the bottom of this pyramid, we've got the bare minimum functional value.
Okay.
Does the product actually do what it's supposed to do?
Okay.
Like you mentioned, like those early mobile banking apps, you could check your balance,
Yeah.
maybe transfer some cash between accounts.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, those were,
Yeah.
they weren't very fun to use.
No.
It felt like a chore
Yeah,
just to log in.
right.
Now we've got apps that practically do our taxes for us.
And remind us when a bill is due and categorize our spending.
That's the next level,
Yeah.
usability value.
Okay.
They're sleek, intuitive,
Right.
designed to make our financial lives easier.
Yeah,
And dare I say, enjoyable.
it's true.
A lot of fintech products are really duking it out at this level right now.
I remember when I switched to this new budgeting app a while back,
Okay.
it wasn't just about tracking my spending.
Right.
It was like having a personal finance coach in my pocket.
That's a perfect example of usability value done right.
Right,
Just like a good user experience isn't enough to sell a car forever.
right.
There's more to the story, right?
Yep.
You think about it, a car that simply gets you from A to B
Okay.
isn't anything special anymore.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this.
Right.
So what's the fintech equivalent of, say, a sleek sports car?
That's where we level up to aesthetic value.
Oh,
It's about
yeah.
designing products that spark joy,
Okay.
that make us feel good about using them.
So we're talking about beautiful interfaces?
It's more than just window dressing, though.
Okay.
It's about creating an experience that resonates on an emotional level.
Okay.
Remember those early cars? Purely functional,
Yeah,
no frills.
like a Model T.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as competition heated up,
Mm-hmm.
design became a key differentiator.
Like comparing a Model T to a 30s Roadster, night and day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aesthetics can make all the difference in how we perceive and interact with a product,
Okay.
even in the financial world.
Okay.
But hold on, we're not done climbing this pyramid just yet.
Oh, no.
There are 2 more levels to explore.
Okay, now you've got me on the edge of my seat.
All right.
What's beyond aesthetics? What's
Okay.
the fintech version of a car that practically drives itself?
That brings us to the realm of status and mission.
Okay.
2 incredibly fascinating aspects of this value pyramid.
Oh.
Let's delve into those next, shall we?
Okay, so we're venturing into like
Yeah,
the upper echelon of the value pyramid here.
absolutely.
Status and mission.
Status value is all about products that make a statement,
Okay.
not just about what they do,
Right.
but what they say about the people who use them. It's
Like designer clothes, but for banking apps.
in a way, yes.
Okay.
Imagine a banking app exclusively for
Okay.
sustainable businesses,
Okay.
or one with like
Mm-hmm.
unique perks for digital nomads.
Oh.
It's about aligning with a specific lifestyle or aspiration.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here. It's
Yeah.
less about
Right.
managing your money and more about like
Exactly.
belonging to a certain tribe.
Yeah.
So then what about mission value?
So mission value
Yeah.
is about aligning your product with a larger purpose.
Okay.
Something your users care deeply about.
So instead of just being a bank,
Yeah.
you're like a partner in
Precisely.
fighting climate change or
Yeah.
promoting financial literacy.
Imagine a bank that automatically calculates your carbon footprint
Whoa.
based on your spending
Okay.
and offers ways to offset it.
Interesting.
Or one that invests a portion of your savings in companies
Okay.
that are tackling social issues you care about.
That's a far cry from those early banking apps that just let you check your balance.
Totally.
It's like,
It's about making a difference with every transaction.
the article brings up Tesla again,
Mm, yeah.
and I think it's a really apt comparison.
They could have just made electric cars,
Yeah.
but they went further.
Right.
They're on a mission to like transition the world to sustainable energy
Yeah.
that resonates with people.
Yeah, it's about walking the talk,
Exactly.
not just talking the talk.
Mm-hmm.
And that authenticity, I feel like, can be a powerful driver for customer loyalty.
Absolutely.
But are there any fintech companies that are actually like pulling this off right now?
You know, while most are still kind of hovering around that usability and aesthetics,
Right.
we are seeing glimpses of this status and mission value emerging.
Oh, right.
There are micro-investing platforms that let you invest your spare change
Oh.
in socially responsible companies.
Interesting.
And some neobanks are partnering with charities,
Okay.
letting users donate or round up transactions for a cause.
It seems like the potential here is huge.
Huge.
If companies can really like tap into those deeper values,
For sure.
it could completely change how we view and interact with our finances.
For sure.
But what about those companies that seem stuck at the bottom of the pyramid?
Yeah.
We've all used those websites or apps that are like
Totally.
clunky and outdated, but somehow they're still around.
Ah, you've hit on what the article calls the monopoly exception. It's a fascinating counterpoint to this whole value pyramid climb.
Okay.
Essentially, companies with a monopoly in their market.
Right.
They don't have the same pressure to innovate.
So they're like the comfy sweatpants of the financial world.
You could say that.
Not pretty.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that functional.
Right.
But they get the job done.
They get the job done.
You know?
Think of Craigslist. It's not the most user-friendly platform.
Right.
But it dominates its niche.
Totally.
So it doesn't have to be.
Right.
Right.
It's a good reminder that competition can be a powerful motivator for innovation.
For sure.
But do you think those monopolies are ever threatened?
Hmm.
Could a disruptor come along and like shake things up? Makes you wonder if those monopolies are ever really safe.
Right.
Like, what if Blockbuster suddenly came out with like
Right.
a streaming service to rival Netflix?
You never know it could happen.
Right.
This whole value pyramid idea,
Yeah.
it's all about exceeding expectations.
Okay.
If a disruptor comes along and offers a better experience,
Yeah.
but they're also tapping into those higher level values,
Okay.
that changes everything.
It's like when those ride-sharing apps popped up and
Yeah.
suddenly
Right.
hailing a cab just seemed
Yep.
so outdated.
Yeah, like a pain.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that no company can just kick back and relax,
Right.
especially in the tech world.
Yeah. This value pyramid thing has been
It's a good model.
really eye-opening. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've gone from like
It's amazing how
basic banking functions.
we've gone from basic functions all the way
Oh,
to aligning our finances with our values.
And what's like the key takeaway?
For me, it's realizing that
Yeah.
we're not just passive consumers anymore.
Okay.
You know, we don't have to settle
Yeah.
for products that just meet our basic needs.
Right.
We can demand more from the companies we do business with.
Oh,
Look for companies that are thinking about the bigger picture,
okay.
aligning with your values.
Ah, I love that.
You know,
Demand better from your
Yeah.
financial products.
absolutely.
And if you don't see it
Yeah. If you're not seeing it,
out there.
don't be afraid to explore those alternatives that are out there.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so before we wrap up,
Yeah.
one last thought to ponder here.
Okay.
We've been talking about this value pyramid,
Yeah.
like from a company's perspective. Right.
Mhm.
But what if we each like applied it to our own finances?
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. Like
Okay.
what if we really thought about
Mhm.
how we're spending and saving?
Right.
And whether that lines up with
With our values.
what we actually care about.
It's like that old saying, vote with your wallet.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Like you can actually drive change.
By supporting
Yeah.
the companies that are actually living those values.
Be a conscious consumer.
Yeah. Be intentional
Yeah.
about where you're putting your money.
Oh, this has been awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we did a deep dive on this.
Yeah. This is a good one.
Thanks for joining me.
My pleasure.
All right, everyone, until next time, keep those brainwaves buzzing.